Monster Jam fans? Welcome out here to the Monster Jam World Finals 26 Awards Ceremony. As this past weekend, we did our 26th edition of Monster Jam World Finals, and we crowned 4 new champions and had a ton of fun. But it is now time for our last thing we need to do here on the weekend, that being the award show. Tonight we're going to look at some big highlights and big moments that have happened throughout this past season, and we're going to give out some awards to those drivers. And so let's go ahead and get everything started off. As first up, I would actually love to welcome to the stage Ryan Anderson and Son of a Digger, our silver medalist from the JCB World Racing Championship, and Michael Pagliarulo in Excalibur. Now, first off, I'd love to say to you guys that apparently last night when we did the freestyle trophy presentation, I accidentally misread something and made a mistake, and we gave Ryan Anderson the 3rd place for bronze medal, when in reality it was actually Michael Pagliarulo who actually had the higher score than Ryan Anderson. Michael got a 9.099 in freestyle last night, and while Ryan Anderson only got a 9.097. So Ryan Anderson is going to right now give the bronze medal for freestyle to Michael Pagliarulo. So congratulations to Michael Pag on getting this bronze medal in freestyle. You know, Michael has been trying so hard this season to get a stadium freestyle win, but it looks like it just did not work out for him last night. But Michael has just been one of the best freestylers this year, as he's probably got one of the best averages out of everybody, at least on the stadium level in freestyle, as he's finished top 5, and I'd have to say probably nearly 90% of the freestyle competitions this year. I know Michael kind of started to fall off a bit in freestyle towards the end of the season. Like, I believe starting in Arlington was when he got his first non-top 5 appearance in freestyle. But even after Arlington, all the way through to the end of the season, Miami, Michael still did get some, he still got some top 5 finishes in freestyle coming from places like Miami, Atlanta. He was still able to grab some top 5 finishes there. But, Michael's still done amazing for his first full-time stadium series this year. And hopefully next year, or maybe even some point later on this year, we can finally see Michael Pagliarulo take home a freestyle win in a stadium shows. That's what he's been pursuing for a long time now. He has a really good truck that really knows how to freestyle. So hopefully that can happen for him one day soon. But, he's going to keep trying. But congratulations for him in his only 2nd World Finals appearance. Great job for Michael on getting this bronze medal. And Ryan Anderson, he's definitely happy to give this to Michael, as Michael had a good run. And Ryan Anderson already does have a medal already, 2 medals already from this weekend, coming from racing and high jump, where I think he got 2nd place both times there. I know he got 2nd in racing, and he got either 2nd or 3rd in high jump. So, great job for Ryan Anderson. Still happy with how he did this weekend. He had a really great weekend. So, very great job for him. And we're going to go ahead and move on here at the award ceremony. As next up onto the stage, I'd love to welcome our series champions. First up, we've got your 2024 National Tour winner, Charlie Pauken in Gravedigger. And then I'd love to also welcome our 2025 Arena Series West champion, Weston Anderson in Gravedigger. And then our 2025 Stadium Championship Series East champion, Tyler Meninga in Gravedigger. Our 2025 Arena Championship Series Central champion, Jamie Sullivan in Sparkle Smash. Your 2025 Arena Championship Series East champion, Tony Oakes. And lastly, our 2025 Stadium Championship Series West champion, Tristan England in JCB Digatron. Alright, man, we're going to start with the awards with Charlie Pauken. We've already kind of went through these drivers talking about their stadium series, or their series wins back during the press conference 3 days ago. We're going to talk about it once again here real quickly. Charlie Pauken, he had a great year on the international tour, as it's definitely very close between him and Blake Granger to get the win. But it felt like definitely Charlie Pauken had more consistency throughout the tour than what Blake did, as Charlie Pauken drove 2 different trucks on international tour. He was a part of Team Gravedigger and Team Megalodon. Blake Granger was a part of 3 different trucks and drove for 3 different trucks on that tour, driving Megalodon, Max D, and El Toro Loco. And Charlie Pauken, he's had way more consistency throughout all the events, and he definitely did more events in Gravedigger on the international tour than Matt Cody. So that's how he was able to get into the World Finals. He was super happy. Charlie Pauken was so happy he got another series championship, as Charlie has not won a series championship since, I believe, 2020, back on Stadium Championship Series Yellow. So he was super happy to bring home another series title for the first time in 5 years. And he wants some redemption after 2023, where he came up just so close to Blake Granger and Max D for that series championship that year. So, Charlie, he may not have had the best results at World Finals this weekend, but he still had a fun time, and he's super happy to be back. And Charlie Pauken cannot wait for the 2025/2026 international tour to be beginning very soon in Melbourne, Australia, 3 weeks from now. And he's ready to hopefully try to get himself another tour championship. And, we can't wait to see what Charlie does. He's going to be piloting both Megalodon and Gravedigger on this tour. However, this time around, I believe we'll see Charlie Pauken more involved in more shows with Megalodon than Gravedigger. So let's see if we maybe see Charlie Pauken back here at the World Finals next year, maybe behind the wheel on the 12,000-pound shark. Next up, we had Weston Anderson and Gravedigger. Weston had a great year on Arena Series West, probably Weston's best season yet, as Weston was very dominant. Weston may have had a slower start to his tour compared to some of the other drivers, but not really a slow start. He had the lead ever since the beginning in Salt Lake City, back when this whole journey started with this first quarter. He had the lead all the way until then, all the way till the end of the season in Cincinnati, Ohio. But, it was definitely close. I remember throughout early February, throughout the month of January, the points were really tight, where Weston Anderson had, I believe there was one time in one event where he had, Devin Winfield 1 point behind, Ashley Sanford was 3 points, and then he had Tim Hall Jr., 5 points behind, and then nearly 10 points behind were Cody Saucier and Brandon Mahan. So it was very tight. Weston was barely holding on to the lead, as he had a slow start due to some of the struggles he had early on in the season in racing, where he was losing round 1 a lot, and he just could not seem to get the truck dialed in and get himself dialed in that racing competition. But around February, I think in around probably Denver or Fargo, is where Weston really started to find his groove and his momentum, and he was able to start doing really well and expand that points lead to where he was able to clinch the series championship early in Manchester, New Hampshire, where he was able to win his now 4th Arena Series title. Weston Anderson, he's had a perfect streak so far in Moss-Gen. He has yet to lose a tour championship, and he's going to try to keep this going on. Weston Anderson hopes to be in a stadium next year, but if not, he's going to go for that 5th Arena Championship. But next year, he's definitely going to go for his 5th Series Championship, and he's going to go all out for that win. Next up, we have Tony Oaks in Thunder Roars. Tony Oaks had a great year on Arena Championship Series East. Unlike most of the other drivers like Weston Anderson, Jamie Sullivan, and Tyler Meniga, Tony Oaks did not have the lead at the beginning of the season. Throughout the first 3 months or so, 3.5 months of this tour, when we started in January in Greenville, South Carolina, Kristen Anderson and Gravedigger had the points lead. And she held that points lead until Easter weekend, where Tony Oaks would come in and just start doing where Tony Oaks would come in and take the points lead away from Kristen Anderson, and he was able to and he's able to get the points lead, and he held it all the way to the end of the season for about a month. For 2 months, he held that points lead all the way until Colorado Springs, Colorado, where he was able to bring home the series championship. And Tony super happy got this first tour championship. Tony Oaks has been competing on points series since 2018, and he's been trying at this now for 7 years, and to finally get himself a trophy in Thunder Roars. He was super happy about it. Tony Oaks may not have had his best first World Finals appearance, but he was still super happy he made it, and it's been a dream come true this year, and it's been Tony's best season in Monster Jam yet, and he's super happy to be up here on the stage with a series trophy that he's worked for a very long time now. He's been wanting, and he's even been working to make it into the World Finals now for 9 years. He's been trying since 2016 to make it into this event, and this year he finally got it, and he couldn't be any more happier, and he's very happy for how this season went, and he hopes next year he can try to defend his trophy and make it back out here to the Monster Jam World Finals in Salt Lake City. Next up, we have Tristan England and JCB Digatron out here with his first Stadium Championship Series win. Tristan is super duper happy he got this win here this year in JCB Digatron. Kind of similar to Tony Oaks, Tristan England did not have the points lead for most of this season. I don't think Tristan, I remember he did get the points lead after his clean sweep event in St. Louis, as Tristan was probably the only driver on his tour this year to clean sweep a stadium event. As he's able to clean sweep St. Louis, and he got the points lead after the second stop of the tour, but he would then lose it immediately in the third stop in Glendale as Todd LeDuc took the points lead back away from him, and Tristan England was fighting to regain that points lead to where eventually he got it back in Seattle, and he was able, from Seattle all the way to the end of the season in Miami, he held the points lead and was able to win this series championship. Tristan had a great season. He's very consistent. He was always fast in racing. He knew how to throw down. He always threw down one heck of a two-wheel run, and he always had some great freestyles as well. So it was a great season for Tristan England and JCB Digatron, and he's super happy to finally have a Stadium Series title, as Tristan's done a lot in his career, from winning, I believe, 3 Arena Series titles to now winning a Stadium one. He is super duper happy and he was super happy to bring home that win. Super duper happy as both his real life family and his England family and his JCB family were very happy for him that he got this win. And Tristan, this was a great year for him. He didn't have the World Finals that he could have wanted to, but he's going to come out next year, hopefully to win his second Stadium Series title, and he hopes to come out and also win himself a World Finals championship. Next up, we have Jamie Sullivan and Sparkle Smash, the lone female driver here up on the stage with the series championship. Jamie Sullivan, she had a transition this season where the previous 2 seasons she drove Monster Mud Dalmatian, and now this year she jumped into the all-new Sparkle Smash. And Jamie Sullivan, and she was a bit iffy about this at first, but she definitely started to like it when she started to remember her background, and she kind of grew up on like a farm when she was younger and was involved with horses and stuff like that. So this is a very well-fitting truck for Jamie to drive. And from the get-go of the season, she was just dominant, and she was very dominant throughout the whole months of January and February. She was really on rails, and she was just doing really, really good, getting lots of wins. She's super duper dominant in the racing, sky wheelie, and freestyle competitions, and that led her to also getting a lot of overall event championships. Her biggest weakness this year definitely came in that skills challenge, and she really struggled there. But throughout all the other competitions that she competed in, she did really good, and she's able to bring home lots of wins. March was a bit of a slower month for her. She didn't pick up as many wins, but was still able to hold that points lead. And then in around April, May, she started gaining her momentum back and started doing really good. And she really got really good momentum in in South Haven, where she's able to walk home with the series championship after having a pretty good weekend there. And Jamie super happy got this win to represent for all the females out there in this sport as Jamie Sullivan. This is the first time we've seen a female driver win a tour championship since 2020. The last time we saw a female driver win a tour championship was in 2020, where Kristen Anderson was able to bring home the trophy for Triple Threat Series Central, and Kaylin Miguez in Monster Dalmatian was able to bring home the Arena Championship Series that year. So it's been 5 years since we've had a female win a series title, so we're very happy Jamie Sullivan was able to get it this year. She was super dominant. She drove the truck on the ragged edge each and every single show this year, and she held that points lead from the entirety from the start in Nashville all the way to the end in South Haven, Mississippi. So this is an amazing season for Jamie Sullivan, her best season in Moss Jam yet. Her World Finals appearance may not have went her way from having to drive with a face infection injury that she had sustained a few weeks ago. So having to drive under that, she may have definitely struggled a little bit, losing round 1 racing, finishing last in qualifying, and finishing near the bottom in freestyle is definitely very tough for her. But hey, she's happy to be here. She wanted to compete, and she was happy she was able to make it out onto the track. And she told me she'd come out to Monster World Finals next year with a vengeance, and she can try to win herself a World Finals championship. Last up, we've got Tyler Menninga in Gravedigger. And like last year, Tyler Menninga had another very dominant season where he led the point series from the beginning of his tour all the way to the end. I know there was one point in time on this tour when Jim Kohler took the lead from Tyler Menninga after San Diego Show 2. But Tyler would immediately get the lead right back away from him. He was able to lead this points tour from like around Houston Houston Show 1 all the way to the end of the season in Fort Myers. So great job here for Tyler Menninga in Gravedigger. He had a great season, very consistent. Like Tristan England, he was able to clean sweep an event in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And Tyler's is so consistent out there. He was always somebody who was very fast in racing. He knew he was always winning skills. I mean, this man got the most skills wins in Monster Jam throughout the past season with a total of 15 to his name. So most of those wins came from first quarter on Stadium Series East. He may have picked up 1 or 2 in quarter 2 competing in the Florida arena shows, but he was able to get a bunch of wins in that skills competition. And in freestyle, he was always finishing near the top. While he did get a few wins, he was definitely always at the top in the freestyle competition. So he was just very consistent, had a bit of a tough, and he was able to clinch this point series early, kind of like Weston Anderson. He's able to clinch this points win in East Rutherford, New Jersey, just a few days before Fort Myers, and he was able to bring home this trophy. And Tyler's super happy with how his season went this year. He had a really good truck that really worked for him. He felt as if World Finals, he thought he should have walked away with a championship or two. And he felt as if he may have been slightly robbed in skills in freestyle. But hey, Tyler's still happy with how he's done this season, as he's now a 7-time series champion, as he has 4 Triple Threat Series wins to his name, and he also has now 3 Stadium Series wins as well. So Tyler, he has the most tour championships almost out of everybody in Monster Jam right now. I think the only driver that has more than him is Ryan Anderson, who has a total of, I believe, also 7 series championships. So right now, Tyler and Ryan are tied for the most series championships right now. So, Tyler is super duper happy to have all these championships, and he's hoping next year he can bring home an 8th Stadium Series title next year. So he cannot wait, and we cannot wait to see what Tyler Menninga has in store for us. He's ready to burn it down for another season and coming up next year. But hey, he's happy with this year here, and he's happy to be back up here on the awards show stage yet again this year. Alright, next up, let's go ahead and take a look here at our first award presentation. That being for our Northern Tool and Equipment Rookie of the Year. This year, unlike in years past, we didn't really see that many rookies debut, kind of like what we saw in some of the previous seasons. As this year, we mainly had 3 rookies kind of make their debut and drive. Those being Tim Hall Jr. in Jurassic Attack, Triton Robbins in Crazy Train, and Montana Robbins in Plain Crazy. And we kind of also technically almost saw a 4th rookie as well with Carson Williams making his debut in Monster Jam just to drive for a few shows, select shows, filling in for that Earthshaker spot, driving for Team Throttle Monster. But for full season during the first quarter, we got to see 3 new rookies. And the rookies this year were really strong and really good, but only one of them can win. So let's see who our Northern Tool and Equipment Rookie of the Year is. And it's going to be none other than Tim Hall Jr. in Jurassic Attack. Nice job here for Tim Hall Jr. Tim, he did amazing this year for his first full season in Monster Jam. You know, coming into Salt Lake City was his first ever Monster Jam event he ever competed in. He hadn't done any outside experience driving for Monster Jam. He did not do any quarter 2 events throughout the previous year. But he had done no other events. This was his first time heading into Salt Lake City, and he did really well. As he definitely this year was not a rookie year for Tim Hall, as he's been driving with the Independents now for a long time, and he's done a lot of independent shows with Team Throttle Monster outside of Monster Jam. So Tim and he's super happy to bring home this win, as Tim had a great season this year for Rookie of the Year, as he was good in all the different competitions that we did. He's somebody who was fast in racing, like he'd always make it into the semifinals or even the final round from time to time. He was really good in skills. He really knew how to balance the truck on the front 2 BKT tires, and even knew how to throw in a combo or 2 every now and again. And he was also really good in freestyle. He'd always lay down some pretty solid runs, and he was always pretty good in sky wheelies. He'd always finish in the upper half there. And then if we ever had donuts, he was also able to most of the time lay down a really great donut. But Tim Hall Jr., what a great season he had. The biggest highlight from him this season was definitely his freestyle win from Portland, Oregon. That was one of the best arena freestyles we had seen all season long, and that's definitely Tim Hall's best freestyle of the season. So now this is a big moment and a highlight for him this year, was that freestyle win from Portland, Oregon, as he laid down one heck of a run there. And what a great job, and what a great first rookie season here from Tim Hall Jr. And we cannot wait to see what his future has in store here in Monster Jam. Alright everybody, it's time for our next award, the Rising Stars of the Year. Now, we've seen lots of drivers come out here this year, and they've just done really good, and they're really starting to rise in this sport, and they've really just started doing really, really good. And they've really stepped up their game, and they're the future of this sport. So let's go ahead and announce who the winner is for the Rising Star of the Year. First up, our main Rising Star is going to be none other than Michael Pagliarulo in Excalibur. Man, Michael Pagliarulo had a really great year this year in his first full, really Monster Jam season. The other 2 seasons that we've seen him drive in 2023 and in 2024, he was mainly just in as a fill-in driver. I remember 2023, he did a few arena events driving Jester, and then he even did a fill-in in Atlanta for Mike Christensen at the end of the Stadium Tour Red that year in 2023. And last year, he served mainly as a fill-in driver for Nick Pagliarulo, who was on maternity leave when him and his significant other welcomed their new child into this world last year. He went and filled in to drive Kraken for a few shows in Houston, St. Louis, and Indianapolis last year. And he also filled in for an injured Cole Vennard throughout shows like Orlando, Miami and Jacksonville. He was able to do some fill-ins there for an injured Cole Bernard. But this year, it got announced that Tom Fuller would be running 3 trucks on stadiums this year instead of 2. And so Michael was able to get a spot here in Excalibur to drive full-time on a stadium tour. And Michael, we didn't really know how he was going to do heading into the season. Some people may have had lower expectations of him, but he blew everybody's expectations away as he was absolutely just burning it down and doing really great every single weekend. Freestyle especially, like we were talking about earlier, when he received his bronze medal in freestyle. He finished top 5 in almost every freestyle competition this year on his tour. He definitely has one of the best averages and was one of the most consistent in the freestyle competition. So great job here from Michael Pagliarulo. He is truly a rising star in the sport, and we hope to see him on the tracks more soon in the future as Michael is nowhere near done here in Monster Jam, as it's just getting started for him. He's really rose up this year. In fact, getting his World Finals appearance this past weekend and finishing 3rd in freestyle was really amazing for a second time at the World Finals. As his first time competing in the big show was back in 2023 when he drove Recreation. But to see him come out now and drive Excalibur, he's been doing really good, and he had a really great season. The 40th anniversary of Excalibur went really well, and Michael is super duper happy he was able to bring home this Rising Star of the Year award, and we can't wait to see what his future holds, as we hope to see him get a world championship sometime in the future, and we'd also love to see him get his first stadium career freestyle win, as that's something he's been searching for a long time now, so he's hoping he can get it sometime very soon. Let's also get and welcome up onto the stage our co-Rising Star of the Year, that being Devin Winfield in Velociraptor. Devin Winfield had a really great season this year. While this year he may not have clean sweeped any of the events like how he did last year. I remember last year in his first ever Monster Jam event last year that he ever competed in Salt Lake City in 2024 on Arena Series West. He was able to bring home that win, that clean sweep of an event that he had, winning racing, sky wheelies, 2-wheel skills, and freestyle. And that was really amazing from that year. But this year, he may not have had a dominant event like that, but he definitely was more consistent. Last year, Devin finished near the bottom in points after the strong start he had. He just kind of started to fall off later on in the season and finished near the bottom last year on his tour. And now this year he finished and did way better, as this year he got, I believe, either 4th or 5th place on this tour. I can't remember. Devin may have slowed down a bit towards the end, but Devin has definitely had a better season this year as he really improved himself in this 2-wheel skills challenge. He did really well there. And he also did, he's gotten improved a lot in freestyle, as well as he's been incorporating more backflips into his runs now, compared to what we saw from him last year. He's doing more backflips in his freestyle runs, and he's become slightly faster in racing, and he's become a lot better at the 2-wheel skills challenge as well, where he's now adding in more combo moves, and is able to bounce the truck on the nose for a longer periods of time. So Devin is a rising star, and even from what we saw earlier on this week, back on Thursday in the LCQ, making it to the final round, but losing to Nick Pagliarulo and Kraken. So, we hope we can see Devin Winfield back at World Finals next year. Let's hope he can get himself an invite into the main field, as Devin, he definitely feels really bummed after losing the LCQ, because he was the last hope for Team Throttle Monster to make it into the big show in their hometown. I know all of Team Throttle Monster was really bummed that they did not get a chance to compete in their hometown World Finals, and none of their trucks made it in. So Devin Winfield, he's hoping to change that, and next year he hopes to do really well, and he hopes he can make it into the Monster World Finals main field, whether it be winning the LCQ or making it in because he won his tour or whatever. We hope we can see him out here at World Finals next year, as he wants it badly, and I'm confident we'll see him at Monster World Finals next year if he can have another year like this year, or even a year that is really better. Alrighty, next up we have our Spin Master Donut of the Year. Now, unlike in years past, donuts we didn't have as many good nominations for donuts this year due to the fact that we didn't do as many donut competitions this year. And this year we started to change the arena format where we removed that extra third competition, where we removed that competition of either donuts or sky wheelies, just to help make the videos shorter and the events better by making the arena events are now only just racing skills and freestyle, kind of like how it is in the stadium events. So, there weren't as many good nominations, but there were still plenty of good donuts that happened this season. And let's see who our winner is. And the winner for our Donut of the Year award is going to go to Matt Pagliarulo and Jester from Atlanta Show 2. Man, Matt Pagliarulo did not expect to win this Donut award this year, as Matt Pagliarulo has always struggled with doing donuts in the Jester truck, just due to the way the body works and how heavy it is sometimes, and the aerodynamics of the truck as it's spinning. And a lot of times whenever he goes for a donut, he'll just roll over. But in Atlanta Motor Speedway, he had a really great donut, as we had different track conditions in Atlanta, as with the tarp that we had on there, it made it different compared to what we've seen from the rest of the season. So he's able to land a very clean donut. He got lots of revolutions, and he's able to get a save out of the donut and land it back on all 4 BKT tires. And Matt Pagliarulo has had a lot of struggles this season, as he just did not have the year he wanted to this year. But Atlanta was definitely his best weekend, as Atlanta, he did really good. He had like 20 plus points at the end of both the events, and he was in the top half. He was like in the top 5 in the overall event championship standings from when we did those Atlanta events a little over a month ago. So Matt Pagliarulo is super happy to win this award. Matt Pagliarulo really wish he could have competed this weekend in the last chance qualifier, but sadly it just did not work out for him this year, and he hopes he can try to make it into the LCQ next year. But he's happy to walk away with some hardware here this weekend. So everybody, let's go ahead and take a look back at Matt Pagliarulo's donut from Atlanta, Georgia, Show 2. Yeah, time for when he went in skills, and he's gonna do it again. Alright, everybody, time for our next award. It is time to present our UNOH Technicians of the Year. As we all know, these Monster Technicians, they are the true heroes here of our sport. And if it weren't for them, I don't know, these events could not happen. These events could not happen without them, as these UNOH technicians work their tails off each and every single year to make sure these trucks are in tip-top shape and are able to perform for you Monster Jam fans. And each and every single weekend, they work so hard to make sure that every truck can make it back for every single competition, and make sure all the trucks are ready each and every single weekend, as we would be nothing if it weren't for our technicians. We cannot do these shows if it weren't for these technicians fixing up these trucks after each and every single event to make sure they are competition ready for you fans. So let's go ahead and take a look here at who our UNOH Technician of the Year is going to be. And first up, we have Chucky Pawkin III in... not Chucky... sorry about that, I kind of stumbled there, but guys, but Chucky Pawkin, he is a crew chief for Send It Motorsports, as he was crewing this year on John Zimmer Jr.'s Terminal Velocity and John Zimmer Sr. in Zombie. Those are the 2 trucks he got a crew on. He got to be on tour with Arena Championship Series Central. And he worked really hard to make sure that these trucks were in tip-top shape, as work crewing for these independent teams can be very tough, as there's a limited amount of people, and a lot of times the drivers of these independent trucks also are helping and crewing on the trucks with their few crew guys as well. So, these independent teams, they definitely work very hard. So, great job here for Chucky Pawkin on getting this win. He definitely worked really hard. You've seen him get this award before in years past when he worked for Tomfoolery Motorsports. In the past 2 seasons, we've seen Chucky Pawkin. He was touring with the Pagliarulo family on Tomfoolery Motorsports. But after around mid-July of last year, and Chucky Pawkin decided to step away from Tomfoolery Motorsports and decided to start working with other teams. I think he did some shows with DCT Power Sports, and now he's out here. He got the job with Send It Motorsports, and he's now crewing for them. And he did a great job making sure these trucks were in tip-top shape each and every single weekend, so they can burn it down for you fans. As John Zimmer Jr. and John Zimmer Sr. couldn't have the seasons they had if it weren't for Chucky Pawkin. And Chucky also worked very hard this weekend to make sure Terminal Velocity and Zombie Fire were ready for this weekend. But he especially worked really hard on Little Johnny's truck to make sure that truck was competition ready for each and every single competition. While John Zimmer Jr. may have not gotten the results he could have wanted to, so I believe he got upsetted and defeated in racing in round 1 earlier on in racing. He didn't get the results he wanted to in that competition. But in freestyle, they also didn't do as good as what he could have wanted to. He may have gotten underscored from the judges, but he did do really good in skills, getting 2nd place there. So Chucky's worked really hard, and he thanks the Zimmers for the opportunity to work for this team, and we cannot wait to see what the future holds for Chucky, as he definitely wants to start not only just crew on these trucks, but also drive them as well. So hopefully we can maybe see Chucky Pawkin out here at some point in the future as a driver for this Send It Motorsports, so we can see him out here competing in Monster Jam, driving these trucks, and maybe try to win awards for something that involves driving the truck. Alrighty, next up, our co-UNOH Technician of the Year is going to be Shelby Fisher, who crewed on Colt Stevens' Thunder Roarus this season. Man, Shelby works really hard each and every single week to make sure Colt has a great truck, and it's already been a great weekend for her. Getting to see Colt Stevens win the high jump championship last night, where Colt was able to just absolutely fly Thunder Roarus very high in the air and win that Lucas Oil high jump competition and get his first ever world championship. You know, it definitely meant a lot to her after all the hard work she put in this season to make sure Thunder Roarus was ready to go each and every single weekend. And Colt had a really great season this year on his tour. He was somebody who we saw at each and every single event go out very late in freestyle, as he'd always laid down good runs and finished in the top half. And another big highlight from her this season was being a part of Colt's freestyle win from Birmingham, where he had that crazy sidewall save that lasted for a very long time. So she is very happy she got to be a part of that moment. And she really works hard to make sure Thunder Roarus is competition ready for each and every single weekend. So really great job for her for keeping this truck in tip-top shape every single weekend, and she's definitely become one of the best technicians out there. As she definitely works really hard in using all her knowledge that she got from UNOH, and as that has really helped her. As if it weren't for UNOH, she probably would not be here right now crewing for Colt Stevens or holding this award in her hands right now. So great job here for Shelby Fisher, and great job to Chucky Pawkin on being your UNOH Technicians of the Year. Next up, and it's time for our JCB Arena Racer of the Year. Now this year, alright, everybody, as I was saying before, we had some issues and some glitches with the PowerPoint. And it's now time to present the JCB Arena Racer of the Year. Now, racing in the arenas has been a lot different this year compared to in years past, as we now have that new, bigger scale Monster Dirt Arena, which has allowed for a bigger track, which has made racing a whole lot interesting instead of the very tiny, tight Monster Dirt Arena that we were using in the previous 3 seasons. So arena racing this year is very interesting, as well as some of the pool table arena events that we also got to see throughout the season as well, such as shows like Berlin, Birmingham, Munich, Orlando, Zurich, Sunrise, Tampa, and Colorado Springs, as well as, of course, the bigger arenas that we do like Tacoma, Fargo, and Reno. This year is going to be very interesting for arena racing, and unlike in years past where you're judging based off performance or how fast we were seeing drivers do, this past year we counted every single arena event, and we counted all the winners from all the events that we did throughout the season, and that is how we were able to determine and pick a winner, was based off of those results. So our Arena Racer of the Year, getting a total of 10 wins in racing this year on the arenas, is going to be none other than Jamie Sullivan in Sparkle Smash. Man, nice job here for Jamie Sullivan. Now, Jamie Sullivan may have struggled in the stadium racing from this past weekend here at World Finals, but this year in the arenas, Jamie Sullivan was off the hook in racing, and she was just super fast in the racing competition this year, and she got a lot of wins in the JCB racing competition this year. And she was super dominant in that competition. She was super fast. She had that truck locked and dialed in. And Jamie Sullivan's always took pride in her racing thing, and she does really good in that competition. It's one of her best competitions, and that she feels as if she has the best performance in. And she got a lot of wins there this year, and she just had a really fast truck, and she knew how to take those corners tight. And Jamie Sullivan's been in this season. Jamie Sullivan in racing proudly was exclusive to the Monster Dirt arenas, and she did not do any of the arena pool table events during Q1 or any Steel Titans events. So that definitely helped her. She's been primarily focused on only doing the dirt arena events during Q1 throughout these past 2 seasons now. Although she did get, I think, a win or two here and there in the pool table arena events that we did last year in the fall in Sunrise in Tampa and Orlando. I think she may have gotten a win or two there. But most of the arena racing wins that we saw Jamie Sullivan get this year as a part of her 10 wins came from driving Sparkle Smash inside of that Monster Dirt arena. So great job for Jamie Sullivan. She has really become a master of driving on that dirt arena track, and she's very fast. And she loves that racing competition. It's one of her favorites. And she's super happy to bring home this win. And after the struggle weekend she's had, she's definitely kind of ending it off here on a high note with this award win. Next up, it's time for our JCB Stadium Racer of the Year. Stadium racing this year was very interesting with international events and all the shows we've done with the interesting and very unique racing tracks that we saw this year on the pool table. Even some of the bigger floors that we've done, like Atlanta and Fort Myers. This year, the stadium racing is very interesting and very competitive this year compared to what we've seen in years past. And we have the wins counted from everybody, and the person who got the most wins in the stadiums throughout this past year is going to be your winner. So let's go ahead and wait no further ado. Your JCB Stadium Racer of the Year is going to be none other than Tyler Meninga in Gravedigger with a total of 4 stadium racing wins. Man, this award right here to win stadium racing win, it was very tight. When we look at the results here from stadium racing compared to the arenas, there's a lot more. I mean, the arenas definitely did have a lot of diversity, but there were, again, lots of drivers who were picking up multiple wins. Like we saw, Jamie Sullivan had 10 wins. There are a few drivers on this list here from Arena Racer of the Year who got 6 arena racing wins. Like Brandon Arthur had 6, Ashley Stanford had 6, Mark Hall had 5. So, you know, there's a lot of people with 5+ wins when it came to arena racing this year. Here on the stadium, it feels like it's a bit more diverse, probably because with the amount of wins, there are a lot of people with only like maybe 1 or 2 wins, and that the round racing wins Tyler Meninga got wasn't that many this year, and it was a very close battle compared to the Arena Racer of the Year. Like I think second place in Arena Racer of the Year was Brandon Arthur, who got 6 wins, and Jamie Sullivan was able to beat him by 4 wins. This year, however, though, when it came to the Stadium Racer of the Year award winner, it was a 3-way tie for first place with 4 wins. It was a 3-way tie between Tyler, Bari, and Ryan. But when we did the research, we had looked up that Tyler had gotten his 4th Stadium Racing win first compared to the other competitors. So that is how he was able to bring home this win. So great job here for Tyler Menninga and Gravedigger. He did really good racing this year, as we saw lots of different racing tracks on Stadium Series East this year, from the track with the step-up ramp, from the other variation of the Stadium East track without the step-up ramp, from having the Stadium East track with the step-up ramp out on Fort Myers on that big beach floor, to the many Steel Titans events that we did, where we saw the figure 8 style in Anaheim, in Detroit, to seeing a short, typical St. Louis track in Indianapolis as well. This year, definitely had a lot of variety of racing tracks on that tour with Stadium East this year. And Tyler Manning was able to just be a master in the racing competition. Tyler just knows how to be fast in racing. Like how we talked about earlier, Tyler was constantly making it to the final round each and every single time in the JCB racing competition. So very great job for him on becoming the Stadium Racer of the Year with 4 wins. It was very, very close for us to win, but great job here for Tyler Menninga and Gravedigger on getting the JCB Stadium Racer of the Year award win. Alrighty, next up, we have our viral moment of the year. Now, with this viral moment of the year award, we actually went back throughout the whole season, as this year, as you know, as we've been bringing Monster Jam, this Monster Jam diecast tour that I've been doing, as we brought it to YouTube now and started broadcasting these events on YouTube now. Throughout the past couple of years, there have been many shows that we've done that have gone viral. Of course, the most infamous example being East Rutherford from 2022, being our most viral video, and was in fact the most viral video on this channel for a very long time, until last year came and we did the World Finals Friday at the Stadium vlog in real life. But this diecast tour has brought in lots of thousands and thousands of views, and we've gone pretty viral on social media. So in order to determine this award, we just went to our most popular video of the year, and the show that got the most views throughout the season, and we just picked the best moment from that show to be the winner. As our most viral viewed video this year came from Inglewood, California at SoFi Stadium. This show nearly happened 2 months ago at SoFi Stadium, the place where we hosted the previous World Finals. And I'm guessing like a lot of people want to watch that video because SoFi Stadium is the most expensive stadium in the world, and it was an honor to bring Monster Jam back there for the first time since Monster Jam World Finals that we'd hosted there the year prior. And it was a very great and a very fun show that we did in Inglewood. It was a very, very great show. Great show that we had. It was the last show before we started summer break nearly 2 months ago. So it is time to pick what was the viral moment from Inglewood, California. And your winner is going to come from Tristan England in JCB Digatron's skills run. Tristan's skills run from Inglewood was really good, as Tristan in England getting this win, as this Inglewood video that we did got 25,000 views on YouTube, and it is the most viral moment. So for Tristan to wow 25,000 fans online in that popular video was really amazing. For him to get that skills win in front of those 25,000 people who were watching across the screen was really amazing, and he's so happy he was able to get that win. That was one of his best skills runs of the season, from where he got the nose flick, and then he got into the wheelie, and then he kind of walked it down the little pod, and then he slapped the truck down and got it back into another wheelie and slap wheelied it out it was really cool, and this is also the place where we got to finally debut the brand new kind of more 3D JCB Digatron body made by Spin Master, and we no longer are using the custom body that was used, that was built in late 2023 and ran all the way until early April of this year. And Tristan got a chance to debut the new chassis, and for him to do that crazy move in a brand new chassis that he had never driven before is really crazy because chassis are different in Mosham. Each chassis controls differently. So for Tristan to be able to do that in the first show with this chassis was really, really awesome. And he had a very fun time doing it. As he wants to have these viral moments, as it definitely helps out. He wants to make the JCB brand popular with this sponsorship that we have here at JCB at Monster Jam. So let's go ahead and take a look back here at Tristan's skills run from Inglewood, California. As we got a stopping moonwalk combo here off this little step up ramp, I guess you can say. He's gonna get the nose flick, and he's got it on a wheelie. He's gonna slap the truck down and get on another wheelie. Wow. Alright, everybody, it's time for our next award, that being the Entertainer of the Year. And now these drivers are not only just entertaining, not only just on the track driving these Monster Jam trucks, they can be also very entertaining off the track as well as with these drivers' personalities as well. Can just be, these drivers have some of these drivers got really amazing personalities that really kind of connect with these fans here. As there's some people who get stuff, he can do stuff really entertaining, like Jim Kohler, and will just get loud on the microphone whenever we're doing an interview. And Barbie Sour, he's got the zombie arms that we do. Cynthia Gauthier and Luke Stabilizer has got the trucker arms. Tristan England's got the hands in the air, and you kind of wave your hands down like this. And there's just many things. Like Ashley Sanford will do this with the Megalodon jaw. And there's just many cool and entertaining things that these drivers will do here to try to really connect with these Monster Jam fans. And some of these drivers, like even Joe Dennis, he can be very entertaining. He's got some of the best dance moves probably out there. But only one driver can win here for Entertainer of the Year. And that driver is going to be Bryce Kenny and Monster Mud. Bryce Kenny is such a good and such a cool, entertaining guy. He's always somebody who's really cool at the pit parties to meet. He always attracts a lot of people. He gets a nice long lines. He's just really a great person and on and off the track. He's somebody who just is really good and really great to talk to at the pit parties. He's a very, very nice guy, and he always has really great conversations with people. Well, he can also just be very entertaining on the microphone as well. The way how he speaks and everything, and he's really good at doing speeches and stuff like that on the microphone. And he can also be just as entertaining on the track, driving Monster Mutt, just going crazy, getting big air, and doing this crazy stuff on the track. Bryce Kenny's definitely the best fit here. He's also kind of started this thing with Monster Mutt doing this, we're letting that big dog eat. It's always very cool to see him. Bryce Kenny is very, very entertaining. And, Bryce Kenny just love to give all the glory back to the Heavenly Father up in heaven above for this win, as we couldn't have done it without him. And he's super happy that he has such a great connection with these Monster Jam fans, as the Monster Jam fans are his favorite part about it. He would not enjoy this job as much if it weren't for the Monster Jam fans. So Bryce Kenny, super happy to have this Entertainer of the Year award win, and he hopes to win more of these as he now begins his new chapter in this sport, behind the wheel of the Tech Deck Rec Deck Monster Truck. Next up, we have our Arena Two-Wheel of the Year award win. The two-wheel skills in the arena this year has been really interesting. With this new Monster Dirt Arena, with this new track that we got this year, it's definitely made things a lot more interesting. And that on top of that, the other pool table arena events we've seen throughout the year, and the Steel Titans events, The skills in the arena has advanced and it keeps getting better and better each and every year. So these drivers really step up their game, and we saw many great skills runs this year in the arenas, but only one driver can win. And your arena two-wheel award winner is going to be none other than Weston Anderson and Gravedigger from Cincinnati, Ohio. Weston Anderson knew he had to go all out in the skills challenge in the final stop of the season in Cincinnati, as Cincinnati was the last stop on the tour. Weston may have already clinched the point series by this time, but he didn't care. He was still going to drive out there like a maniac and still go hard for the fans and give it his all for the final stop of the tour. And he just Wes Anderson's really improved in his skills this year. He's gotten better at bicycles, and the biggest thing that we've seen him get really good at is adding these slap moonwalks in his run, where he's able to slap the truck down, doing a moonwalk and pick it back up, and keep doing a moonwalk and slap the truck down, do another moonwalk, and just do that over and over and over again. It's a very tough move, and it takes a lot of talent and skill to do. And doing the slap moonwalk in these tiny arenas is very, very difficult, especially in Cincinnati, one of our smaller arenas that we do on the season. It's very, very difficult to do that move. So the fact that Weston Anderson is able to do it so many times in that very small and limited space is very cool, and it shows his skill as a driver. And he just laid down a really great run in the final stop of the tour. He had to go all out and make his last skills move on that season, the best one. So let's go ahead and take a look back here at Weston's award-winning two-wheel run from Cincinnati, Ohio on the finale of Arena Championship Series West. That's your tombstone for the first attempt. Nicer is gonna do a slap moonwalk. He's gonna slap the truck down and get it back up onto a moonwalk. Wow, Weston Anderson. He's got another one. Wow. Nicer popper on the second attempt. And Weston Anderson has got that truck perfectly balanced on the front two BKT tires. The truck is shut off while the truck is synced vertically at a 90-degree angle. That takes a lot of skill to do, and Weston Anderson has just broken the physics and has just defied gravity right now. Wow, Weston Anderson. And he's gonna turn the truck back on. And he's gonna walk the truck down the pod. And why not just do a slap moonwalk in there? And a second one. He's got a third one. Wow, Weston Anderson. Back-to-back slap moonwalks, Weston Anderson. That's 5 of them in 1 attempt. Wow. Next up, it is now time to present the Stadium 2-Wheel of the Year award win as we've seen many great 2-wheel moves in the stadiums this year, as these tracks have been really good for skills throughout the past year, as these drivers continue to elevate their game and these drivers get more and more talented and push the 2-wheel moves to the next level each and every year. So without further ado, let's go ahead and see who our award winner will be. And it's going to be, yet again, none other than Tristan England in JCB Digatron from Inglewood, California. Tristan England had a great skills run in Inglewood, like we already talked about earlier. Tristan's really stepped up his skills game this year, adding in more of those nose flicks into his run and having some pretty cool combination moves in there, as well as Tristan's just really evolved and has gotten way better in the skills challenge this year. And we already talked about that skills run, as it was our viral moment of the year from earlier on, where he got this award. So Tristan, he's super happy to have another award out here, as he had a really great 2-wheel run from Inglewood. And let's go ahead and take a look back at that run, as it was really amazing. That's their stopping moonwalk combo here for Tristan England. And as he's comboed into a wheelie, bouncing it on the wheelie bar, twisting those front 2 BKT tires. He's going to combo it and set it back down to a moonwalk. Wow, Tristan England. As we've got a stopping moonwalk combo here off this little step-up ramp, I guess you can say. Ezra's gonna get the nose flick, and he's got it on a wheelie. He's gonna slap the truck down and get on another wheelie. Wow. And he's gonna... Alright, time for our next award, the Super Glue Wow Factor of the Year. I'm gonna try to rapid fire through all these at the end, because we're running out of storage on my phone. We got 7 gigabytes left, and I need to try to get through the rest of this. So this year, with we sell many wow factors this year on both the stadiums and in arenas. With our new Monster Arena, definitely brought in a lot of new wow factor moments in the arenas. And I see as many moments that just made you go wow this year in Monster Jam. So your wow factor of the year award winner is going to be Colt Stevens in Birmingham with that incredible sidewall save. That was definitely one of the best saves we've seen. That save lasted for at least 10 seconds at least. And it was a really cool sidewall save. It's one of the best saves we had seen all year long, and it just really made everybody go wow that he was able to do it. So let's go ahead and take a look back here at Colt Stevens' winning run from Birmingham, Alabama. Time to present our next award, the Save of the Year. Now this year, Monster may not have had as many crazy or cool saves compared to in years prior, but we still did definitely have some highlight and some cool moments when it comes to saves. Saves are one of my favorite part of Monster Jam. I love it when we see a truck just somehow roll over, but then be able to get it back onto all 4 BKT tires. And one of the best that saves here, getting this award, is going to be Ryan Anderson and Son of a Digger from Tampa, Florida, show 1. Ryan Anderson had a great save in Tampa, as Ryan Anderson was wanting to pull something out to try to get his first freestyle win of the season. And he would go in freestyle into a little bicycle, and he would just get a nice sidewall save that lasted for about almost just as long as the ones that we just saw Colt Stevens do from Birmingham. So let's go ahead and take a look back here at Ryan Anderson's crazy sidewall save from Tampa, Florida, show 1. Alright, next up it is time for our Morgan & Morgan Crash Madness of the Year. As this year we got to see many cool crashes in our events. So many really crazy crashes. Luckily, like in last year, nobody got injured in any of the crashes we saw this year. But still, this year we saw many crazy crashes in every competition, whether it be racing, skills, freestyle. There was lots of crazy crashes, especially with this new Monster Dirt Arena. It's definitely allowed to have some more crazy and cool crashes, and also getting to see some really cool crashes in some of the bigger floors with drivers just go all out. And sadly, not every single time you jump this truck or you get a two-wheel move, not every single time it's gonna end up back on all 4 BKT tires. We love the chaos and crash madness. We really love crashes at Monster Jam. We love having a really cool and crazy crash. And the winner of the Crash Madness will be Kayla Blood in Sparkle Smash from Fort Myers, Florida, show 1. Man, Fort Myers was a crazy event, show 1. The track conditions weren't really the best that day, as we kind of picked a bad spot to do the event, as the sand was really soft there. No matter how many times we watered it, it gave us a lot of problems. And Kayla Blood was able to have a really crazy crash where she ended up nailing the Morgan backflip. Then she went for this this very big jump that sent her across the track, and she would end up having a pretty big crash. It was really crazy. Kayla Blood has been known to have some crazy moments in the beach events that we do. She's had some success in them, like when we saw from Madeira Beach and last year for the finale stop on Stadium Tour West. But this year, she did not have as much success in Sparkle Smash. But it was still a really cool moment, definitely a big highlight from that event. So let's go ahead and take a look back at Kayla Blood's crash from Fort Myers, Florida, show number 1. Big leap right there at the end of the run. Alright, next up it's time to announce the Lucas Oil Extreme Air of the Year award winner. This year we've gotten to see lots of big air throughout all of our stadium events. I feel like the 2 stadium tracks that we had this year on Stadium Tour East and West provided us with some really great air throughout the entire season. And we can't forget about Fort Myers and Atlanta, those 2 tracks as well, with those track conditions also provided us with lots of big air. And you guys see lots of cool big air moments throughout the season. So let us see who our winner is going to be. So I love some big air. It's another one of my favorite aspects of a Monster Jam event. So let's see who the winner is going to be. And it's going to be none other than Bryce Kenny from Fort Myers, show 1. Yet another award win coming from that event. Fort Myers show 1 sure was a very fun and very interesting event. As with those track conditions, definitely very tough. But some drivers are able to find some success, like Bryce Kenny. Now, Bryce Kenny does think he should have won maybe that freestyle competition at that event and not Zach Garner. But hey, Bryce Kenny, he did awesome. He did a really great job at that event. He'll take this award win, the second award win for him here today. And he just had a really massive leap, despite how tough that dirt, that sand was. He was able to absolutely just launch that truck and leap it very high in the air. As it's definitely very close to determine which big air moment should we nominate from Bryce Kenny. Should we nominate that moment from Fort Myers, or should we have nominated the moment from Atlanta? But we decided to pick this one. So, great job here from Bryce Kenny. He's always been known for big air, and he's been sending it a lot these past 2 years. Well, he definitely has had his struggles in Monster Mutt this year. He's definitely still had some really good in success moments. Especially at the very end of the season, and these more in the southeast coast, with Fort Myers, Atlanta, and Miami. And so we can't wait to see what Bryce Kenny has in store for us, as he's ready to get some even more big air. And Bryce Kenny hopes he can revisit those places like Fort Myers and Atlanta in the coming up season. Behind the wheel of his brand new rec deck truck is his brand new rec deck truck. With the body right now, it's currently it's made out of cardboard, and that body is very light on the truck. So I think if we see Bryce Kenny ever go back and do one of those 2 events, I think he's going to possibly get big air of the year yet again, as those trucks are just really great at big air. So let's just go ahead and take a look back here at Bryce Kenny's big air moment from Fort Myers Show 1. And Bryce Kenny is gonna... Alright, everybody, it's now time to present our next award, the St. Jude Ambassador of the Year. Now, throughout the year, Mosham, we've raised lots of money here for St. Jude, as it's a really good organization, and with our sponsorship here with St. Jude, we don't see a penny from them, and it's been really fun throughout this year, raising money for St. Jude and stuff like that. And we got an ambassador here over the years. We've been having the fans donate money towards their favorite driver, and the driver here that we decided to nominate here as the ambassador of the year is going to be none other than Jamie Gardner, driver of El Toro Loco. Jamie Gardner, he was a big helper here of St. Jude, as he raised up a lot of money here throughout the season. Has even done bets with some of the drivers, with whoever gets like the lower score between the 2 of them would have to donate some money to St. Jude. And so, Jamie, he's a really great person, and he's always one of the nice people we talk to at the pit, that fans talk to at the pit party. He has a great personality. He's a very kind person, and who loves helping out other people. And he's going to get this award win right here, and he's very happy to have it. As he kind of has the experience of having to stay in a hospital like St. Jude, as when his daughter was born nearly 10 years ago. They spent the first 6 months of her life in the hospital, so he kind of knows. Although it wasn't for cancer, it's for some other thing, but it's definitely not a fun experience. It can be very scary. So Jamie Gardner can kind of relate to some of these other parents and people at St. Jude for having to go through something like that. So, he's very happy as this one means a lot to him to get this award win. Jamie Gardner may not have won hardly any other of the awards here so far today, and he may not have gotten any wins this weekend out on the track in Salt Lake City, but he's super happy to have this award. At least this one really, really matters to him, and it really touches him deeply here. So great job here for Jamie Gardner, the driver of El Toro Loco, for being our St. Jude Ambassador of the Year. Next up, we have our fan favorite driver of the year. This year, drivers have gotten the fans' attention, and it's time to see which driver really got the fans' attention the most to be the fan favorite. And that is going to be none other than Michael Pagliarulo in Excalibur. We're seeing Michael back up on the stage yet again, as we saw him as the rising star earlier, but now we see him here with the win here for this. And Michael, he had a really great time this year here, and he really got the fans' attention, and he definitely became a fan favorite out on the track, as people were rooting for him each and every single weekend, as lots of people really wanted to see him get that stadium freestyle win this year, but sadly it didn't happen. And even though Michael didn't get that same freestyle win, he still got many other wins throughout the season. He got a win He got a win in I believe Sky Wheelies in one of the Sunrise or one of the Tampa shows. I think he got a Sky Wheelie win, and I think he also got a skills win as well in one of the Tampa shows for the arena. I know in Sunrise he got a arena freestyle win, and I know in Seattle he's able to bring home a racing win. So Michael still got some wins this season, but the big one he's going for is that stadium freestyle win, and he appreciates all the fan support as he's running this very old school 80s truck known as Excalibur, and he's just had a fun time this season, and he's loved having the fans' attention, having the fans on his side, and he's been a very big fan favorite this year, as all the fans are very excited whenever Michael Pagliarulo hits the track for freestyle. So congratulations here to Michael Pagliarulo in Excalibur on being the fan favorite driver of the year. Next up, we have our arena freestyle of the year. The arenas and the arena freestyles this year have definitely stepped up their game here. The drivers have really stepped up their game in the arena freestyle this year, as we saw some really amazing freestyle runs in the arenas this year, especially now with our new addition of the Monster Dirt Arena that we got built during the off season. It's allowed for drivers to go higher and go bigger inside these arena floors. And of course, some of the Quarter 2 arena shows that we had on the pool table, and even some of our bigger arena floors like Fargo, Tacoma, and Reno, they all provided us some really good action here in freestyle. And there were so many great runs, but only one can win. And the one winner, we're going to welcome back up onto the stages, where he's going to get some really good cardio exercise today. It's going to be Michael Pagliarulo in Excalibur from Sunrise, Florida, Show 3. Now, first off, Michael would just love to say to the fans real quickly that he loves having this award in his hands, but he's also really going to want to give it up to Weston Anderson and Gravedigger and Tim Hall Jr. and Jurassic Attack, as they were also nominated on here. Weston Anderson was nominated from his run back in Fargo, North Dakota, and also Tim Hall Jr.'s run from Portland, Oregon. We're both nominated. So, Michael, he kind of feels bad stealing that award win from them. But hey, it's kind of crazy how we see a driver who drove in stadiums mainly this year win this arena freestyle. And Michael, this was, I believe, his first arena freestyle win he got in his career at Sunrise, Florida, Show 3. And it's definitely a very happy moment for the whole Pagliarulo family, as he really burned it down, and he didn't even need a backflip to win that freestyle competition. He's able to win without hitting the 8-pack, and he just laid down a really solid run in that event, as we had a really good track in that event. And as he was absolutely sending it off of each and every jump. And it was a really good run, and we almost had a feeling ever since that moment that this has a great chance at actually possibly winning the Arena Freestyle of the Year award. So, great job here from Michael Pagliarulo on getting this win. It kind of feels bad that he maybe robbed this win away from Weston Anderson and Tim Hall Jr. But hey, man, that run he laid down in Sunrise was still very awesome and very amazing. That if we were to have a podium for these arena freestyles that we have here, I think we could probably very easily see Michael on that podium. And hey, there's always next year for those drivers like Weston Anderson and Tim Hall Jr. But still, great job here from Michael Pagliarulo getting it done in his home state and getting this arena freestyle win. And let's go ahead and take a look at that run from Michael Pagliarulo in Sunrise, Show 3. 30 seconds left. Violent donut right there from Michael. That's gonna be the other run here for Mike. Alright, everybody, it's now time to present our Stadium Freestyle of the Year award winner. Freestyles in the stadiums this year are really interesting, as I think the tracks that we had this year on Stadium Championship Series East and West were really good tracks when it came to the freestyle competition. We got to see many great runs on those tracks, and also in some of our bigger tracks as well. Atlanta and Fort Myers also did really good, and never count out the Steel Titans shows as well, as they also had some really cool and great freestyle runs as well. There were many great runs from the stadiums this year in freestyle, but only one can win, and your winner is going to be none other than Nick Pagliarulo from Miami, Florida, Show 2. Man, nice job here for Nick Pagliarulo on getting this award win. Miami Show 2 will always hold a special place in Nick's heart, and this win as well as that run that Nick laid down in Miami Show 2 was Nick's first ever stadium freestyle win in his career. And man, Nick has been really trying hard to get this first career stadium freestyle since 2022. Like, that's when he really started pushing it hard to try to get this win. He's been going at it for 3 years now, trying to get this stadium freestyle win, and he just could not seem to get it. But then Miami, Florida Show 2, the final stop on Stadium Series West came, and Nick just went out there and had to go all out. I mean, Miami holds a very special place in the heart of tomfoolery motorsports, as that is where the whole team starts, where this whole thing started with tomfoolery motorsports. Was in Miami 10 years ago, back in 2015, when Jester made its debut, and now Nick got to come out here and get the win here in Kraken. Here, 10 years later, after the debut, and tomfoolery's happy they brought home at least some hardware after that weekend, and Nick he just laid it down. He had an amazing freestyle run, and it was very clean. He had great momentum, great air, maybe a save here and there, and he also nailed that Morgan backflip ramp. And Nick had a really fun time at that event. You know, this may have been a bit of a controversial one. I mean, I do know Camden Murphy, another one of our nominees, Camden Murphy, Classroom Crusher, his run from Fort Myers Show 2. We just love to give a shout out to that run as well, as that run was amazing that Camden Murphy had in that event where he got the freestyle win, as he was just going all out in that run. He went all out. And on that, especially with that massive floor in Fort Myers, he went all out in that freestyle run. He had really great air, really great momentum, and he just laid it down on that massive floor on the final stop of Stadium Championship Series East. So Nick would just love to give a big shout out to that and show some good sportsmanship out here, because that's what it's all about at the end of the day, is having good sportsmanship. And Monster Jam has some of the best sportsmanship out of all sports history, or period. They have, like, in all of history, Monster Jam has some of the best sportsmanship, and Nick would love to show that out here and give Camden Murphy a shout out. Camden Murphy kind of felt like he's kind of flown under the radar a lot this season, and I felt like a lot of his freestyle runs and stuff like that have gone underappreciated or overlooked, as he's laid down some really solid runs in Classroom Crusher this year. Feels like ever since Jacksonville, Camden Murphy has just been on rails in freestyle, laying down many good runs, and it feels like he's not getting the wins that he deserves and that he should be getting. But hey, there's always next year for Camden Murphy's. I know Camden Murphy he has a bright future, I believe, in this truck of Classroom Crusher. And I know next year he's going to be going all out in every freestyle competition he's competing in. And he's going to try to bring home as many freestyle wins as he can. And he hopes to end up out here on the stage next year with the Stadium Freestyle win of the year. But still, huge congratulations to Nick Pagliarulo. This is still a pretty good freestyle run that he laid down in Miami. It was still very, very solid. And it was still a very amazing run that he had in that event. So great job here for Nick Pagliarulo on getting this win. Let's take a look back at Nick Pagliarulo's winning run from Miami, Florida, show 2. Nick's hungry for that first ever career Stadium Freestyle win. And he's hoping he can get that here this afternoon. Nice air there from Nick. So he's lining up here from the Morgan & Morgan backflip ramp. So then he got the nose spin and he wants to go for a second one. And he's got it consecutive and he's got it on a moonwalk. 30 seconds are left here from Nick. That's the end of time, and Nick wants to go big. One last hit for you fans. He's going to launch this thing across the track. And once again, huge congratulations to Nick Pagliarulo and Kraken on winning the Stadium Freestyle of the Year award win. And it is now time to welcome to the stage our Monster Jam World Finals champions from this weekend. Let's welcome to the stage first your Utah Sports Commission Skills winner. That is going to be none other than Blake Granger in Monster Mud Dalmatian. Next up, let's welcome your JCB World Racing Champion, Todd LeDuc in Megalodon, Stars and Stripes. Next up, let's welcome up our Lucas Oil High Jump Champion, Colt Stevens in Thunder Roarus. And lastly, let's welcome to the stage your BKT World Freestyle Champion, Armando Castro and El Toro Loco. Now let's start off with some winning interviews. First up, Todd LeDuc in Megalodon Stars and Stripes. Todd LeDuc, this was his last Monster Jam World Finals, and Todd LeDuc announced in the press conference 3 days ago that he was going to be stepping back from driving full time here in Monster Jam, and it is very sad to see Todd LeDuc go, as Todd LeDuc is one of the best out there to ever do it. And he's a 4-time World Finals champion, as he got 4 World Championships. He won Freestyle in 2014, Racing in 2016, Freestyle in 2021, and now Racing yet again here in 2025. LeDuc has had one heck of a career in Monster Jam. He's happy he ended it off on a strong note. LeDuc wished he could have done more in Freestyle last night, but it sadly did not work out for him. But he was able to really burn it down though in racing, and he's happy he ended off his Monster Jam career on a high. And LeDuc, he's looking forward to retirement, focusing on his body and focusing more on his health and his family, as those are 2 things that have been really big and impacted in not the best of positive ways. He's had a lot of issues, problems and issues with his family and with his health within the past couple of years. So he wants to take some time and focus on that. Now, Dookie won't be gone completely away forever, as he'll definitely still have some involvement here in Monster Jam. He may make guest appearances at events in the future. We also may see him maybe even come back and drive maybe for one-off events, or maybe even just as a fill-in driver. But as for now, this is it for Todd LeDuc, and he's ready to go out there and enjoy his retirement. Next up, we've got Blake Granger, Monster by Dalmatian. Blake Granger winning his first World Championship in skills after pulling off that incredible moon flip into save that he did on Friday. And it was a really, really great win for Blake Granger. He had a really great run in skills, and this is a really good, well-deserved win here from Blake. As he's super duper happy he's able to get this win here, as it definitely means a lot to him. He's worked really hard this season. He may have not had the best of year this year, but he still did pretty good enough where he's able to make it into the skills challenge, and he really did a good job. And he just let me give a big thanks to his crew chief Chad for having that truck dialed in 110% throughout the entirety of the weekend. And Blake, he wished he could have won freestyle, but sadly it just didn't work out, or racing, but it didn't work out. But he's very happy he got this win. This means a lot to him, as this all started his ride and his journey here in Monster Dalmatian that he had this season. This would have never happened before for Keith Speller giving him a call that we needed somebody to drive Dalmatian in the arenas here this season, and domestically. And Blake said, sure, why not? And he said yes, and he embraced the spotted dog, and he's able to get this win here, and then he was able to have a decent season, find the wheel, and then come out to World Finals and really show off here for all you fans, and have a great World Finals appearance. It's probably been Blake's best World Finals yet out of the 3 he's competed in. So great job for him, and we can't wait to see if he can win that skills title again next year. And then next up, we have Armando Castro and El Toro Loco winning freestyle. Man, well, it definitely was a controversial win here for Armando. As a lot of people probably think that the winner should have maybe either come from maybe something like Ryan Anderson, Camden Murphy, Tyler Menninga, heck, maybe even Michael Pagliarulo, Zach Garner, Cole Bernard, Jim Kohler, who all had really great runs last night. The judges just saw Armando's run, and that was going to be the win. Armando's really nervous last night heading into this competition. He did not know if he was going to be able to win it after seeing, as he got to see he went out pretty early in freestyle. He went out, I believe, 7th, and he had to watch nearly around 21 other competitors go after him and lay down really great freestyle runs. And he got nervous every single time the scores came in, as if he was going to try to win freestyle, but he held the lead, and he thought he may have lost with Ryan Anderson at the end, but the score showed up, and Armando Castro is now world freestyle champion. Still a very nice win for him to have. While it may not be the most earned or most deserving, it's still a great win. Armando's still no diss on him. He still had a great run last night. He still had one of the better runs from last night. Last night was a very tricky track, and he was able to lay down a pretty solid and clean run. And now he heads into his next season as the world freestyle champion. And Armando is hoping he can come back out to World Finals next year and win that freestyle title again, as he really wants to show that this World Finals here was no fluke, as he's going to be trying to go. He's going to go all out the next season. And at every single show he's at, he's going to try to get as many freestyle competitions as he can to prove that he is a good freestyle night. He has what it takes to be a world freestyle champion. So congratulations to him, to Armando Castro, on getting this win. As he's done great all season long in freestyle on the stadium level. He's been one of the best stadium freestylers, in my opinion, all season long. He's been burning it down all season long. He's had many great runs, and many runs that were maybe overlooked and underscored. So still a great job here for Armando Castro. And lastly, we have Colt Stevens in Thunder Roars. Colt Stevens, he had a really great job in high jump as he just went out there and actually sent it, and he was the last one to go, and he easily cleared the second place. I believe second place was Ryan Anderson, I believe, in high jump, I can't remember, but he was able to clear the height from either Ryan or Bryce or whoever was in second. He's able to clear that pretty easily and beat it by 5 inches nearly, or maybe even a tiny bit more than that, but he was able to clear it, and he was able to walk away the high jump champion. So, great job for Colt Stevens. This week has been an awesome week for Colt Stevens, as earlier this week, him and his wife welcomed in 2 twins into the world, as his wife had given birth to twins earlier this week, and it's probably one of the biggest highlights of Colt Stevens' life to have that happen. And then he comes out here to the Monster Jam World Finals this weekend, and he wins the high jump competition. And this has been an awesome week and an awesome year for Colt Stevens, and both on and off the track, as he is definitely on cloud 9 right now. And I mean, the only cherry on top the only thing that could have possibly made this year better is if he would have won the World Freestyle or World Racing Championship. But hey man, I'll still take high jump. It's his first World Finals title, and he cannot wait to hopefully come back next year to Salt Lake City and try to defend that high jump championship. And that's it for our World Championship. And last up, we've got one more award left, the Lifetime Achievement Award. Last year, we gave this award away to Tom Mentz, the driver of Max D. Let's see who will win it this year. It's a pretty clear-cut, obvious answer. And that is going to be Todd LeDuc. He's going to be your Lifetime Achievement Award winner. Todd LeDuc has just had an amazing career here in Monster Jam, and he's going to win this Lifetime Achievement Award. Todd LeDuc has had such a great career in Monster Jam. In the world, he's done really good at the Monster Jam World Finals. From his LeDuc leaps in 2014 and 2019 to his amazing run that he had in 2023, to his winning run in 2021, to this year's World Racing Championship, LeDuc has just brought a lot of action and has had many good moments. And even outside of World Finals, he's had many great moments, as he's won many Stadium Championship Series titles. And yes, he got some Stadium Series title wins in years like 2017. I think he made 2019, and then I believe he got one more in either 2018 or 2020, but I can't remember who won the titles in those years. But LeDuc, he's had an amazing career in Monster Jam, and he's definitely be sad that he will be going away here and stepping down, as he's done really great in the career. He's got 4 World Championships, 3 or 4 Stadium Championship Series titles. I mean, this has just been an awesome career for LeDuc. It may not have been like Tom Mentz, his career where he got 14 World Championships, but it was still a very great career for LeDuc. He's definitely a fan favorite out there on the track, and is one of the probably up there in the top for one of the best drivers of all time. He's up there with Dennis Anderson, Tom Mentz, Ryan Anderson. He's up there with all those guys. Neil Elliott, Tyler Menninga. Adam Anderson. He's up there with one of the greatest drivers of all time, and we're very happy to give him this award. It's a very emotional moment for Todd LeDuc and all the Monster Jam fans. It's a major chapter in Todd LeDuc's life coming to a close, and we hope for him the best of luck with his future and everything. And we just love to give Todd LeDuc one big thanks for all the entertainment and all the action and all the stuff he's done with us here in Monster Jam. We just love to give him a big thanks. So really big thank you, Todd LeDuc, for all you've done here in your Monster Jam career, and we hope you enjoy your retirement. And that is going to be a wrap out here for this year's 2025 awards ceremony. Also we just love to give a big thanks to Max and Jace on Instagram, who helped us a lot pick out some of these awards. While he got a lot of these awards pretty spot on and right, there were other ones that he missed that may have gotten slightly incorrect, but still, Max, for your first time helping out the award show, he did really good, and we appreciate all your help that you've done for us this past Monster Jam World Finals, from helping out with Shell Shocked and Wreck Deck and this award ceremony. A big thank you to that. And that's it, guys. That's a wrap for another Monster Jam World Finals is in the books. And we cannot wait for next year in Salt Lake City for next year's Monster Jam World Finals. Next year could possibly be the final Monster Jam Diecast World Finals that we do. So we hope next year we can make next year's World Finals the biggest and the best that we've ever done for you guys on this channel. And we still have to thank all you fans yet again for supporting us for another season. We cannot wait to see you all next season as the off season with the 2025/2026 International Tour will be starting very soon, as in 3 weeks, as we have the next 2 weekends off for the Diecast Tours. That everybody's going to take some time to breathe after this Monster Jam, after this busy Monster Jam World Finals weekend. And as we're going to have 2 weekends off, and then August 9th, we're back in Melbourne, Australia to kick off the International Tour. So we cannot wait. We are very, very excited for that, as it's going to be very fun. And we cannot wait to bring you guys all the action and bring you guys all the action coming up very soon, as we're very excited as we head into the possibly the final diecast season ever. So y'all want to make sure you stay tuned. We're going to try to make it the biggest and best one yet. So yeah, and also thank you to all you fans who have supported me throughout this whole season. And thank you to Mom, Dad, our Lord in heaven above, as it wouldn't have been possible without you guys, my parents, or our Heavenly Father above. We could not have made it through this season without them. And it's been a great long World Finals. It's sad it's over, but it's also good at the same time. This was a really tough run, one of the hardest we've ever worked on a Monster Jam World Finals. From all the stuff we kind of had happening behind the scenes, there were some issues that we had behind the scenes, which kind of almost hurt us in trying to get everything done, which kind of hindered us and made it a bit more cramped to get everything done. And we worked really hard. We spent a lot of late nights editing videos, getting all the trucks across to and from the pit party, and making customs is one of the hardest and most amount of work we've put into a Diecast World Finals. So I hope you guys appreciate it, and we'd appreciate if you guys like, subscribe, and the notification bell, so that way you can help support us after all the hard work we put into this event. So thank you all, Monster Jam fans. Thank you all for your support. Everybody, please be sure to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you guys can be notified for when more Monster Jam content comes to you soon. And thank you all for your support on another season. God bless Monster Jam fans. Have a safe drive home, and we cannot wait to see you next year for Monster Jam World Finals 27 back here in Salt Lake City at Rice Eccles Stadium. Peace out, Monster Jam fans.